Okay, I have a 2011 Mazda CX-7 2.5 liter. I'm doing the CVA axle on the passenger side. Now, one thing I want to tell you that this CVA axle come in two parts. The first part going to the transmission, I believe is called the half shaft, and the second part is the CVA axle that go into it. Let me show you. See that right there, that's sticking out? The other end go into the transmission. I believe that's called the half shaft. And then the CV axle go into it. And when I ordered the part, I thought I ordered the wrong part because I didn't know it was two-piece. Because some car have a one-piece drive shaft that go into the transmission, and then you have that carry bearing that goes around there. So anyway, I thought I had the wrong part till I did some research. So this is what you need to do to replace it. Just remove the outer tie rod, which is, I believe, a 17 millimeter, and then remove the caliper or the hub from the spring. It is a 21 millimeter socket, I believe. Let me see. No, 19. I'm sorry. It's a 19 millimeter socket. Remove that, and also just unclip this speed sensor and remove this brake line clip from the shock. And what you need to do is just make sure you use a bungee cord or something so you don't put pressure on this brake line. And then when you got all this off, I believe the socket for the CV axle nut is a 35 millimeter. Okay, so use 35 millimeter socket to get the nut off, and then of course you can tap the CV axle inward. Once you got this spindle, you don't need to remove the brakes or nothing. Once you got the spindle loose from the shock, it will come down far enough. Then you tap or hit the CV axle in so you can get it out. But once you got it clear from the spindle, which means it's already out this way, now you gotta move the CV axle out. You cannot pull it out because it does have a ring on there on the other end that locks it in place. So what you need to do is, what I use is a hammer, two hammers actually. I put one end of the hammer. Let me show you what I did. I put this hammer right up here against the CV axle, and then I used the other hammer and hit it on this end to knock it out. You will not be able to pull it out because it's got that locking ring on there. So also to access it, you have to remove the splash shield underneath. It held on with a 10 millimeter nut. So remove that splash shield, and then you can access the axle, the back of the axle shaft. Just tap it out, and of course this end have a female end, and I thought I ordered a wrong shaft. So now I got it out. I'm gonna put a new one in. When I put a new one in, I'm gonna grease the inside of it, put some grease inside of it, because it is a little rusted in there. And then when you put it in, just lightly tap it in. Get a rubber mallet and tap the end of the CV axle. You do not want to use a hard metal hammer to hit it. Well, you probably could, because this end is not threaded. So, but use either hammer, you know, because this end there's no thread on it. So if you mess it up, the nut will still go over it. So that's how you get it out. Don't make a mistake that think it's a one-piece drive shaft. It is not. It's two-piece drive shaft or CV axle. The inner part is I believe it's called a half shaft, and then the outer part is the CV axle or the drive shaft, whatever you want to call it. I've been trying to look for the video to see how they do it, and I haven't seen it. So if you think you order the wrong parts, it is not. So I hope this will help. Have a good night.